Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled by this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to speak before you this evening. Not only is this a significant moment in the history of this university, but also in my life as well, and for that, I am eternally grateful. I want us to pause for a second and remember all the leaders we look up to. Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Nelson Mandela of South Africa. I want us to ask ourselves, if they were to rise up today and witness this occasion, what would run through their minds? What would they say? What would they see? I believe they would be confronted with an audience that inspires an immense amount of hope for the future of Africa. This grand opening of the African Leadership University just proves that Africa is finally and truly reflecting upon its future. Since we are at a leadership university, it is only natural that I start my speech with a small tale on leadership. I would be lying if I said I was born a leader. For the better part of my life, I was always the kid seated at the back of the bus. I was never the one to raise his hand first when a teacher asked a question in class. If being passive was a skill, then I was quite good at it. My turning point came during one of the darkest times in my life and my country as a whole. I was a small boy, only 10 years old, when my country, Kenya, was hit with the post-election violence. Though it happened almost a decade ago, the memory of it remains fresh in my mind. My hometown, Eldoret, was the hardest hit, and I vividly recall how the lives of people I know were turned upside down in a matter of days. The situation was so dire that to move from one place to another, you had to request a police escort. And even then, you still feared for your life, as the police were outnumbered on the lawless streets. At such a young age, I found it difficult to comprehend what the end goal of all this savagery was. I mean, why? But the real revelation came to me when all the chaos subsided and Kenya returned to normal. I couldn't articulate it at the time, but something inside me had changed. I had been confronted with my own mortality. The sudden realization that my exit from this world could be just as swift as my entry had taken its toll on me. I began to question what it was that I was actually doing with my life. What would they write upon my headstone? That I was just another Kenyan, born in Kenya, lived in Kenya, died in Kenya. I had decided that for once, I would take ownership, find my mission in life, and I've never looked back since. I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, and this journey led me to ALU. I take this moment to thank my parents who have been with me every step of the way, and also my former principal. Even as I speak, my father, Peter Gisore, and my former principal, Mr. David Karaoke, are seated with you in the audience. And so, this is about moments, good or bad, that make clear what direction we must take. Moments that push us towards our destiny and our purpose. We will all face many such moments. At ALU and beyond, we will succeed. But we will also fail, many times. Will we be paralyzed by fear and regret, or will we learn from these moments while maintaining our gaze ever forward? Is Africa gazing at the future, or is she too paralyzed by regrets over past failures? This is about how our lives are shaped by other people's plans and actions, in both good or bad ways. As our Chancellor Graça Machel once said, preventing the conflicts of tomorrow means changing the mindset of youth today. Our founder, Fred Swanika, identified the need to revolutionize the higher education scope in Africa. He wanted to tap the tremendous potential present in its youth. He didn't know how, or when, or even whether it was possible. But he had the idea and a clear vision in mind, and he worked on it. And that is how we are all here today. To my fellow members of the inaugural class, 10 years down the road, will someone stand on a podium and say that I stand here because of what maybe Bakwena or Flora envisioned? Will what you do today make a difference in someone's life down the road? Let's let that float for a second, Mr. Cat. I firmly believe that the power to change Africa's narrative lies within the great minds that are seated amidst us today. This auspicious occasion should serve as a testament to the power that lies beneath one idea. I look forward to the day when we'll all look back at this day and be proud that we had the opportunity to be part of a defining moment in the history of our continent, Africa. The potential I see in my fellow classmates every day serves as a driving force to my end goal, and I am honored and humbled by the journey that lies ahead. Africa is rising, and I am proud to be rising with it. A friend once told me that deep conversations with the right people are priceless. Distinguished guests, fellow leaders, and African stakeholders, this is not just any normal gala dinner. This is an ALU gala dinner. And if there is one thing I've learned in my short time here, it is that a conversation over a plate of food could be the birth of something big, something disruptive, maybe even the next Microsoft. So, I say to you, seize the moment, as the present moment is all you have and all you will ever have to hold on to. I wish you a safe journey to the moon. Thank you.